Oh, something different.
So yesterday we spoke about David being left out by his father, not expected to be one whom could be the person to be anointed king to replace Saul. And I think about it and I recognize, it can be very painful to be rejected, especially to be rejected by persons close to you and important to you. It is hard when the persons who should believe in you, who should be seeking to push you to the next place, are the ones who have no confidence in you and the ones who reject you. But do you know that sometimes your rejection is a blessing from God? So we find that David was left in the pasture tending sheep. And in those days, what that meant was that there were many a nights that he would sleep under the stars. He would come home infrequently. He literally lived with the sheep. He would have spent the time with the sheep. He was not with his brothers. He was not with daddy. He was the outsider in the pasture. But there's something I noticed. Have you ever recognized that after David got anointed by Samuel, for the rest of scripture, you never hear of the line of Jesse or the house of Jesse or the seed of Jesse. We hear of the seed of David, the line of David, the house of David. Clearly, there was a new beginning with David. David was the 8th son, 8 being the number of new beginning. But more importantly, we recognize that there seemed to have been a restart when it came to David. And when we speak of the seed and the lineage, we do not go beyond David, though David was of the line of Jesse. David would not have had the birthright because he was not the first son. But being the 8th son, he was the first of the new line. Clearly, a new lineage started with David. So there was purpose for the rejection, because our personality is formed both from our DNA and our environment. He was left out of the environment of Jesse and his brothers. Jesse, his father, and his brothers. And when we look in scripture, we see a sort of spirit with Jesse and the brothers. A spirit that looks down on. A spirit that clans with each other, but do not understand the importance of the will of God. But David was so different. Why? He was left out of the circle. Sometimes God causes you to be left out of the circle so that you do not become like them, because he has a bigger plan for you. It feels hard when you're rejected, but what might God be saving you from? What might he be preventing from getting into your spirit? What immunity is he creating in you? Sometimes we are rejected for purpose. Let's talk about that today. I'd love to hear your comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. hit the notification bell. God bless you.
Oh,